Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered 12. Covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
And away we go on a Wednesday, boys and girls. How are you? We are the Bostonian versus the book every single Monday through Friday. You guys are getting us on Sports Grid. It's 6 days a week. Replayed on Sirius XM, channel 159, and on Sports Grid Live on our YouTube channel at Boston versus the book and on RX at Boston versus the book. For life is the phrase of the day. For life. We're here hopefully for life too, but suspensions and major news stories. We missed him yesterday. We're hoping to get Matt Rybaltowski from Sports Handle on the program here.
Better show up today.
We hope he shows up today because the story was developing yesterday and now it is out. How are you, sir? Happy Wednesday.
Not banned yet. I'm not banned yet, but you know, I was reading something about some commodity trading. Trading. Learning about commodities, how they get traded here and there, who does what. A lot of education for me this morning. I also went and got blood drawn. You get blood drawn recently?
Not recently, no, but I have, obviously, yes.
You know, with all the stuff you got to stay on top of with me and all these other things, the people that draw blood can make or break your day. When they stab you wrong, it just ruins your whole. It hurts.
Yep.
It's painful. It's this, that. But when it's smooth, like when it goes in smooth, you know what I'm saying? When it goes in nice and they just draw that blood and you're in and out quick, you know what I'm saying?
Sometimes the best fun.
It's the quick. I mean, it's boom, smooth. You walk out, you feel like $1 million. You feel like $1 million. I'm like, I just gave all that blood and I couldn't wait to come do the show. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. It was smooth. She was great. I got her. I showed her the show.
I'm sorry.
We're never getting off late night, Will. It don't matter. I got to call you after the show anyway, Will. I didn't even swear. We got under for swears, but that was smooth this morning. It made my day. I felt great. I was bouncing out of that office. I shook her hand. Said, thank you very much. My appointment's next week. What day? I asked her, what day are you here? So when I come back to give blood.
Goodness, what are we doing?
I just said, you really did a good job. I don't know how many times do you think she draws blood in a day?
I don't know. Do you give her a slap on the butt and say, nice job?
I didn't do that. But I made a number. Right. I said, I bet you do this 50 times a day. She goes, on the busy days, that's about exactly what we do. And I'm like, I still got it. I don't even know what you're doing in here. Mondays and Tuesdays, about 50. Go give blood on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Little inside scoop. Way less busy, especially on Fridays, because ain't nobody working on Fridays, apparently.
Interesting.
That's a number for this morning. Very smooth morning for me. Very smooth. As a commodity, you got to learn. You got to learn these things.
Oh, on that note, we start the show. Here we go on a Wednesday. Smooth entry for a needle. Okay.
Woo!
Interesting. Sure. All right.
Oh, good.
Okay.
I still got the tape. I got the tape right there. I ain't taking that tape off all day.
Yeah. Did she cuddle? Did she just at least hang around afterwards?
Come on, bro. You know I can't do that stuff. Please. My wife's watching the show. She's home from work.
Take a couple of beats, right? You got to think 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. How long do I chew my arm off? 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000. That was always fun in college. So how long do I got to stay? Can I leave? Can I leave? I got somewhere to go. I got class. I'll see you around. Bye.
You said that, not me. I was talking about giving blood.
Oh, yeah. Sure. In some ways, you do that too. You never know. It can get a little rough sometimes.
Listen, a lot of times I look away, right? I don't want to see it go in. Sometimes, I like to, I pay attention a lot. Like, I didn't even know this one was in.
Oh, no.
Today. I was like, oh.
I didn't. That's what she said.
That's what she said. Yeah. Oh, believe me. A lot of things happen.
I didn't know it was in. Oh, that's too good.
It's not on the rundown. I like to get you too. Come on.
Yeah, I agree, Jordan. I agree.
Yeah. No way. What? What do you want? 1 star? Come on.
Oh God, that's why we invited the light. That's why we invented the light.
The light switch. Clap on, clap off.
Oh, shut the lights off. We gotta go. Oh, God. I think I hear my roommate. Oh man, did you have the sock on the door trick with your roommate? Not this is anything to do with the show today, but
we had a different signal. Everybody had that signal. Yeah.
We had
word. I had a word for everything.
We had the knock.
Oh yeah, we tried to knock, but then people found out the knock, and then they did it. People knock, and you should tell people. And I told my roommate, no more knocks. No, that's it. No. So yeah, we had
pineapples. Code word was pineapples.
Pineapples.
You're supposed to eat that, I guess.
Whoa, hey, ho! What?
Supposedly.
What the hell are you talking about?
I'm not the one that started this conversation.
I just talking about giving blood.
Sure.
Put it in smooth. That's good.
Oh yeah, you have to like the signals. Tap the arm. You got to do the nose button.
Double tap. As soon as you got the double tap, that was the signal.
Oh my gosh.
You do all this stuff you want, but if you did something twice, that was the signal. There you go.
Boy. Okay. Well, the topic of the day today is Jontay Porter. Jontay Porter getting the lifetime suspension for betting on the NBA. That was the question everybody had. Did this guy actually bet on the NBA, or did he just bet? Because FanDuel said he's got $1 million account. He's been betting on everything. He had, up to 45 bets a day going. Well, we now know he was on basketball. According to the NBA, on March 20th, Porter disclosed a confidential information about his health to a bettor. That person put an $80,000 parlay down on Porter's props, all to underperform. $1.1 million return. The bet was ultimately frozen. The investigation showed that 13 bets were made by Porter on NBA games. Total payout was about $76,000. Net winnings of about $22,000. 3 of the bets were multi-game parlay bets, which one included the Raptors, in which he bet them to lose said game. Adam Silver, the commissioner, said there's nothing more important than protecting the integrity of the NBA competition for our fans, teams, and everybody associated with our sport, which is why Jontay Porter blatant rule violations of our gaming rules are being met with the most severe punishment, lifetime ban. So, Dave, after knowing the details, is the punishment appropriate?
Well, you have to, right? I mean, what is the appropriate punishment? A year suspension?
No.
This is made an example of, guys.
Yes.
This is to make sure that no one else or anyone else that thinks about doing anything like this doesn't do it.
Right.
Or at least thinks, if I do this, I could be lifetime banned. Covers everybody's CYA. Everybody's ass is covered.
Right. Here's my
allowed
question.
To say ass? Is ass one of the words?
I don't know. I asked that question on Twitter today about how people feel about swearing, and I'm curious to see the results of the poll once it's done in 24 hours. But how do people appear? Because 35% of the people, the winner right now, is they love it. It's more authentic when people swear, which proves my point. But I don't know. I'm pro curse words. Oh, swearing is great. Will says we can say ass.
Thank you, Will.
So our FCC compliant.
Can you say the butt? Do it in the butt. We did that on Friday. On Roll Call Friday. We did that, right?
I love this. Please swear. Yes, Tom. Please swear.
Tom, Will's in the chat. He's watching the show.
All I know
watches the show every day.
Sorry, Will says, but Charles Barkley dropped the F-bomb on ESPN today. If Charles Barkley can say that on ESPN.
Times are changing, sir.
Old guys got to get used to it.
Yeah. I don't know. They run the show. most of them run the show. They tell you what you can and cannot do.
Thank God
What
for
you
Pat.
can and cannot wear. That's why I love this show. We wear what we want. We say what we want. For now, till they tell us we can't.
Right. All right. Back to Porter for a second.
Yes, sir.
So he did bet on NBA games. Thus, I think it's appropriate for him to be lifetime banned.
Not
kicked
NBA
out.
games that he played in.
Oh, yeah. No, NBA games he played in. Oh,
No.
yeah. Yes.
No.
That prop bet March 20th, he played.
He didn't bet it. Someone
He
else
told someone to bet it. I mean, he was involved in it. It was $1.1 million. He's involved in a scheme. That's it. Goodbye. See you later. See you later. Goodbye.
Okay.
You're out. Goodbye. I mean, he threw a game for a gambler. Goodbye. See you later. You're out.
Boban missed a free throw on Sunday for chicken.
I'm fine with that. It was in person. It was on the court, and it literally was he told them that he was going to do it. That's a promotion. I'm cool with that. That was fun. I'm fine with that. It's just one free throw.
Boban's props under.
If that was, I don't know if that did any number swing on that. I don't think any number swung on that bet.
The total fell 221. It opened 221.
That's awesome.
The total fell 221.
I agree, Nick. Money ain't chicken.
Money ain't chicken.
I agree. I'm cool with Boban. I'm cool. Totally different in terms of, but he
himself did not bet on any games he played in.
As of right now.
What do you mean? They did the investigation. He bet on 3 games.
Yeah, they haven't found
out. He didn't play.
Yeah. Okay. I don't buy any of it. The second you're involved in this, I don't buy any potential. You did it into, he had multiple accounts. He had people betting for him. He had people. I mean, this
Which
dude
is going on every day.
He was heavily involved.
Which is going on every day.
What's going on every day?
Multiple people have multiple accounts.
In the gambling space, yes, but not gay people on the court playing the sport themselves.
Really?
Well, I mean, if that is the case, we got a bigger problem than we ever thought.
Oh, counselor.
If it's what you're saying, you're speculating. I'm not speculating. You're throwing out accusations. I'm not doing that. I'm saying I don't know this to be reality or true that gamblers are playing the sports that they're involved in. The NBA, you can bet on anything else except the NBA. That's right. Okay. They're cool with betting on anything except you cannot bet on the NBA.
Well, if your friend bets on the NBA, then you're guilty by your account.
If you told him something that was unknown, yes.
How does he know he told him?
That's the investigation. That's what happened.
Well, the investigation asked them, and they said, "Yeah, we told each other."
Well,
I told him to bet.
If you put $80,000 down on a
minutes and come out of the game,
it was supposed to be a 3-leg parlay on Porter's props, 80,000 to win 1.1 million. Everything on the under. Okay. FanDuel found out, they froze that account. I think, it was DraftKings. The DraftKings found that bet, they froze it. That's what led the investigation. That's how it started. I'm assuming they talked to that gambler and they found out information that gambler had inside information. Probably threatened him with legal. Say, hey, you're involved in a literally a points shaving scandal. This is jail time.
Huh?
Did he tell you? Yeah, he told me. He told me he was out. He told me he was going to play poorly. He told me bet under everything. I'm not going to do anything tonight. I'm going to leave the game with an eye injury, whatever it might be. Whatever he did.
He told him nothing.
Well,
that guy said he didn't tell me anything. I don't know.
Well, then why did he pay $80,000 on 3 unders?
He really liked it. What do you mean?
Okay. All right. You can have that plausible deniability in a court of law, but the NBA can ban whoever they want. This is not the court. This is not the court of law. This is up to them. It's a private enterprise.
Did they ban them before all the commercials for the league partners? Or they ban them after the commercials, or do they ban them before they embed the app into their league pass so everybody can bet them? Or do they ban him before they walk past the book on the way to the locker room? I'm just curious. Or maybe driving to the arena, do they pause and do it with the billboards that are everywhere? Or, I'm sorry, maybe during commercial breaks, while he's sitting on the bench, and they do a same game parlay on the scoreboard, or if he's sitting at home or he's sitting in the locker room, he watches the commercial to make every moment mean more, or to make sure the crown is yours. When do they actually do the banning? I'm just wondering when all of that, what's the sequence of events?
It's fair. I'm not pushing back on anything you're saying. Everything you're saying is accurate. but the players knew the rules.
Oh, he has to get banned. There's no, but the hypocrisy in the whole thing is amazing to me. It's amazing. He didn't bet on the games he played in. An associate may or may have known, I don't know. Nobody knows what he knew. Nobody knows. They think they know.
What book? Here's my question: If the book took an $80,000 parlay bet on a prop and it lost, do they say anything?
No,
because they froze the bet, but they didn't tell anybody until after the fact.
Right.
So they took the bet. They took the money. They took the $80K. They had the money.
Yeah.
So they're sitting
VIP.
So they're sitting on it, right? They're sitting on the number. They're sitting on $80,000. And they're watching the game. And if he goes over and the parlay loses, do they give the money back? They keep the money, right?
Yes.
So I'm confused. I guess my point with all of this is we need to have some level, and this is where I think the government will come in and start to put together some type of law as to if you think a bet is suspicious, a suspicious wager has to be suspicious whether it wins or not. And you can't pocket the money and say, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, if
you think it's suspicious, you don't take the bet.
But they took the bet.
I know. But from somebody who's done it for a long time and sat in a room and watched an $80,000 3-team parlay come across, you go, what is this? Who is this? We're not taking this. We're going to lose $1.1 million. Who is this guy? Call the place. Nowadays, you can't get in touch with anybody. It's all apps-based. So can we send him a message and say, wait a second, you want to bet an $80,000 3-team parlay? I want to take your bet, buddy, but I can't take it for $80,000. I could take it for 2 dimes. It's a 3-game parlay. You want to win 20? You want to break the bank? Hold on. Then maybe a conversation goes with the other guys in the risk room or go right to the owner or the director of the book and go, so guy just tried to fire an 80-dime parlay.
Jimmy Jack, it paid $1.1 million.
That doesn't matter. If that's your risk tolerance, it doesn't matter. You push a proof. They got VIPs. They tell everybody all the time. They got VIPs that bet $1 million a game. If I got volume, I don't give a shit. Sorry, I almost said it, Will. I'm trying to keep it clean today. Keep it clean. But it doesn't matter to me. 80,000 to win 1.1 million. If we're doing 10 million in volume in a day, $80,000 parlay. But on player props, it's an egregious error on the risk team for taking the bet. Does it make it suspicious? We got to define what suspicious means. The amount of money. I've taken a $500,000 bet once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. Is that suspicious? Guy got the money. We took the bet. I've taken a $50,000 parlay that the other end of it was $1.5 million.
What about that? Is it who was the parlay on? Make it suspicious. 2-way player that really has been a washout, injury prone, 5-star Missouri 5-star Missouri player, but never really caught on in the NBA.
I've told you this story, and we'll talk about it more as the draft approaches next week. But I was working the night before Andrew Luck retired, right? I'm sitting in a room in summer, in August, and somebody calls from one of our properties and says, there's a guy here who wants to bet $10,000 on the Colts season wins under. I said, that's awesome. Who is the guy? Do we know him? No. New customer. Okay. The limit is 2 dimes. Well, he wants to bet 10. I said, well, yeah, I want to be 25 again. I can't. The limit is 2. Okay.
Right.
He sends the bet. Wants to bet it again after I move it. No, actually, I was going to take the bet. They were counting the money and he was bickering. It came across that Andrew Luck was retiring on my screen.
While you were counting his money out?
While I was counting the money out.
Dang.
The supervisor was counting the money out. I said, I said, she got back on the phone. I said, all right, do me a favor. Tell him it's 7.5 because it was 10. Tell him he can bet under 7.5 if he'd like. He can have it for 2,000. And she's like, oh, he's not interested now. I said, make sure you give him all of his money back. Thank you very much.
Wow.
So was that suspicious? He
No.
would have got me for at least 2,000 at 10, and I was going to move it to 9.5 or 9. He was going to bet it again.
I don't think inside information makes it suspicious. Like, I don't think just because you know
Just
something.
said it did. They got banned from the NBA because it's inside information.
That's different. If a player tells someone, a gambler tells him,
So
I'm not.
Somebody told Andrew Luck told somebody that he was retiring, and that guy came in to try to bet it.
Or maybe the GM's neighbor was cutting his lawn and told his neighbor, hey, Andrew Luck's just going to.
That's inside information, though.
It is, but it's not done in the same way. It's more like a leak than it is nefarious.
Oh, no leaks.
This is nefarious.
Really?
This is yes. Your guy came in, tried to bet 10. This is 8 times that on an NBA player prop single game.
He probably knew that he could maybe sneak by 10. He knows he can't sneak on 100 on a season win. Otherwise, he would have. The guy that bet 80 could have bet 5,000 100 times.
And he probably would have been smarter to do it because it would have been under the radar screen. But he bet 80 for 1.1 million.
Yeah.
That's a whole different story. We're banning guys for winning $200. Like $1.1 million sets off alarm bells. Like everyone's going to go, wait, what's that? Oh, it's a player prop parlay? Hold on. For how much? VIP or no VIP? What's going on with that? Hold on to that. Put a marker on that. We'll come back to that after the game is over. Oh, that one? Hey, what happened?
How often does the book have inside information, AOWN? Not often. You think anybody's calling the book and telling them? Do you think so? I can personally tell you, if you think that the book has more information, you're wrong.
I agree with Marco, though. It's already crazy before you even get to the player, who the player is. 80,000 on an NBA player prop parlay. Okay, hold on a second.
Well, you would think so, but they have high risk tolerance.
And on one player.
Yeah.
Not multiple. It's a one, and it's all under. It's 3 unders. It's like, hold on a second.
Right.
Under rebounds, under points, under steals. Like, wait, what are we doing here?
I mean, you have to ask inside who approved that bet.
Yes. Well, was it approved? See, they took it, but they froze it.
Of course. Because if I step out, if I'm sitting with you in the room,
right,
and I got to go to the bathroom,
okay,
and a bet comes across, so you need to know in 3 minutes that whether you're going to take this bet or not. You take it, I come back in the room, and you go, hey, we took an 80-dime parlay on a 3-game, from this VIP.
Okay.
And I go, what are you doing? Freeze the bet. We can't take that. Hold on. You shouldn't have taken it. Well, now we can't give the money back. What are you going to do? After a bet's taken, you refund it immediately. I mean, there's a lot of procedures and things. You can't just make the bet evaporate.
If that happened here in Vegas, what's the protocol here? Because Vegas is different than everybody else. You take the bet, you're supposed to honor it.
Of course, they should have to honor it.
So if you pay it out, do you go arrest Porter and the gambler? Vegas rules are different.
What?
Nevada, what?
What do you arrest them for in Nevada? What did they do?
Fixing the games.
After the fact, the guy came in, made a bet, we paid him, and now we're going to go get him. How does that work?
I'm just asking. I'm just saying, if it happened in Nevada, the rules are different here than in other states. So could you go to gaming and say,
for what? What did they do?
Well,
are there federal charges? I mean, am I the cops? Am I the FBI? What are you talking about?
Well, the feds would have to go and get him. But yes, it would be. It's a federal. He's violating federal law. Like he's violating the same laws. This is price fixing. What?
Has he done that with this?
We don't know what the feds are going to do yet. You could arrest him for this, but I don't know if the NBA or I don't know if the feds are interested in this, but you could absolutely do this. You could arrest him for what has happened. Yes. This is RICO. This is IRS tax evasion. This is all you want to go into. This is all different things. You go down. Fraud is a huge deal. Wire fraud, huge deal. Like there's a million different laws that the feds could go after Porter for, and they might. Now, are they interested in making him an example? Maybe. But in Nevada, you write the ticket, you got to honor it. So, if you didn't want to pay it out, you have to go to gaming.
DraftKings pay this guy?
They didn't pay anybody. No, it froze. They didn't pay them. Froze the account. Account was never paid. The bet was never paid.
They voided all the other bets on it too?
I don't know the answer to that. That would be up for the state that it was taken in, I guess. But they did not pay the $1.1 million. It was frozen. They froze the account after the game was over, which I think is kind of baloney, because if you take the bet and the bet lost, they would have kept the money. That's why I think it's.
But the guy still committed fraud.
Well, no, he
still committed fraud.
He inside information, right? But it's two different acts, right? Well, it is. It's two different acts to me. Okay,
so he's still going to jail.
Correct, but but he could have $1.1 million waiting for him when he gets out. So it's. I mean, it's one or the other, right? It's, hey, I'm going to go spend 6 months in jail for fraud, or for doing this, but I'm going to turn around and I'm going to be good with it because I'm going to take my parachute and be okay on the way down.
Tyler just came in the chat and said, I've got guys that bet 2 dimes on the top on the tip-off of every NBA game. 80 on a parlay isn't as crazy as you think.
Who's taking that? Who takes 2 dimes on a tip-off in the NBA? Onshore, not off.
Everybody. The big companies, they all take it from VIPs. You'd be amazed if you saw what a VIP does, what VIP accounts do. If they're going to bet 2 dimes on the tip-off, so who's going to win? Sixers
you
or
are
Heat?
Now backing
2
right
dimes,
into our biggest argument that we have had for years.
Right.
Our biggest argument that we have for years is if you take $2,000 on a tip-off, you take $2,000 on a tip-off from everyone. This bullshit VIP, this VIP shit is bullshit. It's complete garbage. Different people should not get different prices and different limits. Should not happen. The book should not have a right to say, Dave, you get 100, Matt, you get 5,000. That's complete bullshit. It's such a garbage thing that goes on in the industry. And if I'm believing you and Tyler obviously know way more than I do in terms of how bets are taken and how much bets are taken. But if we're taking $2,000 on the NBA tip-off, yet I know people who can't get down $500 on a side, get out of here. That's complete garbage. It's such, look, Rufus Peabody said a lot of crazy things. I love Rufus. But you know what? Rufus is 100% right. There needs to be a bill of rights for gamblers. This idea that the books get to dictate everything and they get to tell anyone and everyone, we set the rules, you guys get to sit back and take it, is nonsense anymore. That's, if I talk about what regulation I want from the government, I want that. I want the government to step in and stop allowing sports books to take whatever they want and whenever they want. It may kill the business. You told me the business dies if we do this. But this is such complete utter trash.
The business dies. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, you told me that if you as the book are dictated to, and I tell you, if you take 1,000 from one guy, you take 1,000 from everyone. You've said the books
we have books that do that. There are books that do that.
There's like
they will take a guaranteed dime from anybody.
Right.
No problem. That's what the limit is. You get a minimum of a dime, right? No matter what you bet. You can bet props, you can bet sides, you can bet totals, you can bet this, you can bet that. And when a guy walks in and tries to break you,
right?
You can tell him to fuck off.
Good. I'm okay with that. Yes, I'm fine with that.
It's my fucking business.
Okay.
As the book.
But if you take
I don't fucking need a bill of rights. Well, if I own a business, Matt,
right?
If we own a restaurant, we've had this discussion before.
There's laws.
It's restaurants have laws. No shoes, no service. Get out.
But there's laws on as to you can't. If I'm a homosexual, you can't kick me out. You can't say I'm not serving you because I don't like your lifestyle. We've gone to the Supreme Court on this. We've had massive, huge federal cases for this when it comes to restaurants and services being provided. The books.
If you come in and walk a bill,
right?
I don't have to let you in my place of establishment.
Right, but that's theft. That's a different story. That's theft.
Oh, it's theft.
That's theft.
This is what this guy did was insider knowledge. It's theft. It's wire fraud.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But my point is if we're going to allow books, if you're telling me that books are taking gigantic risks on 50-50 coin flips and taking thousands of dollars from people, yet they're limiting people left and right on sides and totals, that stuff can't happen anymore.
I'm running my business how I want to run my business.
And I agree. I disagree because it's the same. That's the same argument people make all the time about my religion.
Get $1,000. You can come in and bet $1,000 on
whatever
you want.
But that's not everyone. That's only certain books.
Well, of course, because they have to make decisions because they've been told it only works a certain way. If you kick out all the winners and keep getting enough losers, then you're going to make the stockholders happy. All the CEOs get to steal all the money at the top, go on trips, pad their stock scams, and everybody's happy. We're not trying to book the games. Anybody that's booking the games knows you take bets. Well, they're not trying to take bets. You're trying to get, VIP whales. That's it. I mean, it's not. I mean, Rufus is fighting a very noble fight. Rufus wants to get down as much as Rufus wants to get down too. It's very selfish.
I agreed. I'm okay with it. It's completely transparent what he's trying to do. I get it. I understand that.
Yeah,
but it's just there's
Rufus
nobody
should open
talking,
a book. Rufus should book games.
Okay, but
I love it. I'm doing the business with Rufus tomorrow. Call him up. I'll call him myself.
I believe that there will be at some point, in Massachusetts has looked at this already about telling the books you can no longer limit players. And I think that should happen, that limiting players should die.
In the same breath, they're going to raise the tax rate times 3.
It's Massachusetts. It's my state.
Okay,
it's my state.
Government. Here we go.
My state taxes everything. I'm from Massachusetts. We tax everything. So that's not going to,
okay,
I'm not going to bat an eye at
started this venture at 10%.
Correct.
This year, it's an election year. We're going to raise the taxes on the books. They're evil. They're this, that, whatever. We're going to make it 30%.
Because they said yes to New York like idiots. They said yes to 51%. You already said yes to it. So now every book has
other states to change the tax laws.
If I have 10% and New York's at 51%, Mass and New York fight all the time. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? You said yes to 51%. Fine. You want me? 40%. That saying yes to New York is what causes the books to have all this pain state to state, because they're paying 51% in New York and they're some of them are doing quite well there. So
the smartest books in the world said no to New York.
Okay. And there's many books that want to be in New York, and those same books want to be in Mass.
No, there's not.
FanDuel, DraftKings have to be in New York. They've made that calculated error. They said we have to be in New York. That was an error they made.
A lot of books. You just said a lot of books want to be in New York. A lot of books don't want to be in New York.
There's 6 of them they're offering right now. There's 6 books in New York.
6. How many people live in New York?
A lot.
6 books had to do it.
Well, again,
it would get out tomorrow if they could.
They made that calculation, but they said yes.
Anyone else knocking at the door?
If you're operating FanDuel and DraftKings in Massachusetts and you're paying 51%, Mass is saying you're going to pay more. Ohio is saying you're going to pay more. Illinois is saying you're going to pay more because they already said yes to New York. They should have said yes to New York.
Bill of rights for the books or for the bettors. Okay. If anybody just told the truth in the whole thing, it would be so easy. The negotiations would be so easy. We're going to come in. What's the tax rate? We're going to take bets. We're going to offer minimum limits to every customer off the street. And when these fucking guys come in with betting bots, or 100,000 people in a Discord and send a homing missile out that says, attack this book so they will break them with one bet. Everybody do it for $10 at 12:17 today. Okay. Load up a 4-game player prop parlay that will circumvent all the limits. Because we got a guy on the inside who plays, but he only plays 4 minutes a game. They don't know that. They put these props up. We're going to get them all. I want a Bill of Rights for the book.
You do have one. You do have one.
Everybody fucked us.
DraftKings didn't pay out the Porter bet. They didn't pay it out.
Okay. They didn't pay that guy. Did they pay? They did not pay anybody.
I don't know what they did.
Bets that night?
I don't know what they did. I know they did not pay $1.1 million on $80,000 parlay.
With this information,
my gut tells me they didn't pay anybody. My gut tells me they voided it all. I just don't know who the hell is betting.
Hopefully, Rybaltowski will be.
Who's betting Jontay Porter fucking props? Nobody.
Good question.
Nobody is. That's why there's probably 10 bets in the whole fucking system on Porter, and there's one $80,000 parlay on it. That's what set up the rocket. Like, what the hell is that? That's $1.1 million.
I would say there were more than 10 bets on it.
I don't know. So they may have voided them all. They voided one. My gut tells me they voided them all. Why wouldn't you void them all? Why would you pay some and not pay others?
Well, you have to void them all.
So then there you go. They voided them all. So they never paid it out then. It was easy. They paid it. Done. We're out, right? We paid them out. So that makes it easier when you void them all. You don't pay anybody. All right. this guy's been very patient, so I appreciate.
Is this Rybaltowski?
Rybaltowski is here. Yes, he's here
Thank
to help us have this conversation.
Please make some sense of this,
Matt
Matthew.
Rybaltowski from Sports Channel joining us here on the Bostonian versus the Book. Matt, what's up, bud? How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
Oh, it's just another day in the lovely world of sports betting being legal. Where are we, man? Okay, Porter gets a lifetime suspension. I know you've been working on this story for a couple of weeks now, but what's your take on the ban coming down from the NBA?
I think the ban is just. Look back a week ago. Look at what Adam Silver said, and he goes, look, I have wide latitude, or I have wide authority to issue a lifetime ban if a player is accused of the cardinal sin here, and that's what it is. It's impacting the integrity of the game. It's not player betting per se. This isn't an NBA player with a $500 million net worth putting $1 million on the Super Bowl. That's not really an integrity issue. The issue at hand is whether a player who is on the court can affect the integrity of the game, either by his own actions on the court or disseminating information about a certain illness or an injury. And that's what happened here with the apparent injury that Jontay Porter had after leaving a game 3 minutes into it.
So all the unders won. All the bets on him under won. Rybaltowski, good to see you. You're writer for Sports Handle and all that other stuff. We'll get the link out after so people can find the article and stuff you've been working on. Is he being made an example of with this as a deterrent to everyone else? Because it has to be done. I think it has to be done this way. But do you think this is there any other solution other than a lifetime ban is my question.
It's a really great point, and there's arguments on both sides, right? If we look at the NFL wagers, Isaiah Rodgers received a year ban, and there's evidence of it, and he even admitted to it, of wagering on one of his teammates to hit the over. It's not an apples to apples case. The allegations here are on one of the multi-game parlays that Jontay bet on the Raptors to lose. So with all of these negative outcome bets, again, that impacts the integrity of the league. Now, should we be making the claim that commissioners are looking to make an example out of certain players? You never want to see that. You want to see a level playing field. The same rules that apply to LeBron James or Nikola Jokic or Embiid should apply to a two-way player like Jontay Porter. But at the same time, all four of the major commissioners consider the integrity of their sports to be of paramount concern. So there can't be match manipulation. There can't be match fixing. There can't be the dissemination of PII and these so-called schemes in order to influence micro bets. Mm-hmm. In my view, I think that a lifetime ban here is just. It's the right move.
I would agree. Matt, what do you make of, Dave was talking about it earlier, that the NBA and Adam Silver, they were the first ones. We all were here at G2E when Adam Silver penned that very long op-ed about legalization of sports betting and how important it was going to be for the future of the NBA and how supportive the NBA was going to be. Eventually, all four major sports leagues jumped on, and they all are now doing some level of sports gambling inside their own arenas, let alone, being a partner of it. They're in the arenas. I was at Wrigley Field 2 weeks ago, and there's a DraftKings book at Wrigley Field. Is this just the tip of the iceberg here because of the involvement of the leagues, or is this just make example of these guys at the beginning and eventually this stuff will stop being reported, it'll stop happening?
Yeah, well, one potential solution is for all these stakeholders to work collaboratively, work in conjunction. And when I say that, I mean the leagues, I mean the sports books, I mean the state regulators, I mean the integrity firms. They all need to get together at a summit or at the same table or whatever forum can be created to come up with a collaborative solution. And I was on here listening to your debate before, and I thought it was a really compelling debate. It was great theater, and both of you were making compelling points, right? Yeah. And when we talk about federalism here, I think this could trigger a debate on a national registry for prohibited sports bet, prohibited gamblers. In other words, athletes that shouldn't be allowed to place wagers on their respective sports based on their position. And again, there's arguments 2 and 4 there on whether that's a violation of a player's privacy, if that database is a violation of federal privacy laws. But we had a source tell us that at FanDuel, there were a range of 10 to 20 professional athletes that were members of FanDuel's VIP program there. And again, in my view, it's not the worst thing in the world to allow an NBA player to wager on the Super Bowl. If you look at it from other sports too, it's not the worst thing in the world to let an NFL player wager on the Masters or Wimbledon.
Huh.
But any protocol or league policy that allows a player to wager on his own games or games in the league that he competes in, just to me seems like it rubs right against that wall of integrity that we mentioned before. And if these stakeholders are able to work collaboratively on a national registry or a national prohibition list, I think it's a step in the right direction.
So in terms of how the leagues are going to go about sports betting in the future, you just said that 10 to 20 athletes, professional athletes, are part of the VIP program for FanDuel. Did I hear you right?
Yeah. So to clarify a little bit, that was of last year, and the source also informed us that of that number that none of them wagered on their own individual sports. Yeah.
Okay. So because NBA players are allowed to bet on other sports, just not the NBA.
Correct.
So they have a much more liberal. The NFL, you can't bet on table games. You can't do anything gambling in the NFL. They've totally wiped it out. Is that also part of the problem that we've got different rules with different leagues?
Oh, yeah, that's part of the problem. I think the biggest problem is that none of these stakeholders can come to the table together. They're not in the same room coming up with proactive solutions. And
well, Matt,
again, it goes to these
they don't want to
privacy standards, right?
Where they don't want to ask. They could have asked these questions. I've taken bets from fighters. I've taken bets from baseball players, football players, basketball players, hockey players, soccer players, golfers, personally, every one of them, every single one of them. You're asking the book to be the police. Is that what you want? Tell us what you want. Well, you know what they want? They all want those 10 to 20 people in their own book wagering. They all are fighting for that VIP account. that has an endless supply of money. They don't care. They can't win. They know that. So how would you expect stakeholders to come together with lawmakers when nobody knows what they're even looking for? That would be my question back to you.
Again, not to be ultra cynical, but there is so much greed involved across the board here.
Absolutely.
And so many places are making oodles and oodles of money off these VIP athletes. So basically, you're asking them to restrain their profit margins. That's what it comes down to. And so what's the question? What's more important, profit or integrity?
Great question.
The left hand. The left hand. Always the left hand.
It's not just the sports books that are interested in making millions of dollars. It's all these stakeholders.
Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, the books have to make the money to pay the ads to be spent with the leagues. So the books need to have revenue streams coming in. It's a cycle. It's a whole ecosystem that has to be constantly refed and recharged with the money of losers. And that's the part that nobody wants to talk about. So the VIP account that loses is why they all fight over them, because as Dave said, they can't win and they have an endless supply of money. So they're going to bet, and they keep the money coming in. But if that happens to be an athlete, that's an interesting story, because like I said, the NBA and the NFL have two very different opinions as to whether or not a player should be allowed to bet.
What if it's an athlete's interpreter? I'm just curious. How's that work? What did I say? Was that funny? What did I say? I don't know.
With an endless supply of money, somehow.
It raises an interesting question, because I looked at all these issues on know your customer and compliance questions related to the Bank Secrecy Act and AML questions last week with Ohtani's interpreter, right? And on no planet should an experienced bank compliance official turn the other way when they see a $500,000 wire transfer from the account of Shohei Ohtani.
How about 9 of them?
Right?
Yeah, right. 9.
I mean, if we had to compile a ranking of the 10 most famous people in the world right now, he's probably in the top 10.
Fair. Yep.
And
it's
so,
close. But I mean, rich people wire $500,000 for breakfast. Like, I mean, in the scale of things, it seems like a big deal to us. But
right.
If you work in a bank, I asked a woman today who took my blood how many times she does this today, right? She said 50 on a busy day. Probably not a bad number to sit in a Bank of America place that deals with high-level, high-wealth clients and say, how many times do you see 6-figure bank wires? Oh,
fair.
I see them all day. That's it. Somebody's wiring 100,000 for this, and 200,000 for this. So why would that set off something if that's what you're normally doing?
True. I mean, he signed a 10-year, $700 million deal, so he has the liquidity to pay for those transfers. He has enough in reserves. But then you have to ask yourself the extent of those activities. Why are you sending these wires?
Well, yeah, if somebody wants to dive in deeper, they absolutely could. Let's go back to the basketball for a second. I'm going to call you Rybaltowski.
There you go.
Just because of Matt, and Matt's very confusing. I know
my whole life.
Yeah. Right. So, did you see the Boban miss the free throw for the chicken?
I heard about it. I didn't see it.
Okay, so there's a promotion at the Clippers games when a visiting team guy misses the first free throw. If he misses the second one, the entire arena gets Chick-fil-A sandwiches. It's a great promotion because every time the guy misses the first free throw, the place goes crazy. Well, Boban knows he's in LA. He grabs the ball after he misses the first one. There's 4 minutes left in the game. It's not really close. He looks around at the crowd and goes, "I got you all," like this. Clank right off the rim. He's a damn legend. It was right in front of everybody. The game ended up falling 221. The total closed 222 and a half. It opened 221. Game went under. Is it that easy? It's a missed free throw for chicken. But a lot of people in the space that we both know, and Matt knows too, are commenting like this is an example of how you can easily make a game go a certain way.
Yeah, well, you guys talked about it before about the bets on the opening tip, and
Right.
a couple weeks ago at the Sweet 16, Brad Underwood was asked about it, and he goes, "I hate to see the day when one player doesn't jump for the jump ball because of a bet." And so,
Right. He did.
are we there now?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, should this lead to debates on whether there should be a ban on micro bets entirely? Lots of experts talk about props in college, but how about micro bets across the entire legal market?
Yeah, it's really hard because if you were to ban prop betting, wouldn't you ban DFS as well? You would take it down. Both would go.
Yeah, there's a great Wall Street analyst in the space, Jordan Bender from JMP Securities, and he modeled out what would happen if there's a ban on college props, and he said it would have a $500 million negative impact per year for the books if that happens. So
not handle-wise.
Handle-wise, yeah.
So if you're on a 5% hold, that's not a huge amount of money.
Actually, I have to check on that. I think he wrote a $500 million impact. That might be a question for him.
It would have to be handle. It wouldn't be
probably
profit.
He probably has a prop service that provides odds and prices on the side because that's who it would impact the most. It would be a small blip on the radar of books, bottom line or profit margin if they banned college props. It's not that big of a market. If they banned pro props, it would take down the industry because there's a lot of books that are relying on same game parlays of player props and things like that. That would be massive if that ever happened. Last one for me, Rybaltowski, is I'm going to let Matt ask a real question on the way out. How was Boston and the Boston Marathon? Because, P-Roll misses it, and we were talking about it. We were looking forward to getting a quick little recap of your experience at the Boston Marathon. How was it?
Oh, the Boston Marathon was awesome. I encourage both you guys and any of your viewers to go in person if you get the chance. Just a festive atmosphere.
Was that your first time?
First time, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I watched it from mile post 23.
Ooh.
And for our purposes, it's interesting because that came before the Massachusetts Gaming Commission a couple of years ago on whether to allow bets on the marathon.
Yep.
And they decided
no.
Yeah, to ban them. But these runners from Kenya and Ethiopia, they're just in phenomenal shape.
Fair.
It's crazy. I'm running a 21 miler in 10 days.
Nice.
Yeah, and I mean, look at me. I'm fat and I'm out of shape.
You're not. You're not.
Like
you can run 21 miles, dude. Let's not use the fat word. My God, come on, man.
Okay.
Whoa.
My fastest mile
in
this 21 miler will be less than the average time from these pros. They're unreal.
Yeah, sprint. They literally sprint for 26.
It's amazing.
26.1 miles. They sprint.
It's amazing.
It's not even fair. It's just they absolutely run crazy. So you were a mile 23. So you were after Heartbreak Hill, you were in the city, right?
Yeah, it's the Washington Square area.
Okay, yeah. Okay, nice. Okay, nice. So you saw them when they were really, people were starting to really struggle. Like that's the last 3 miles is not easy. That's like, oh my God, get me to the finish line as much as possible.
Yeah, it's not easy. And then Heartbreak Hill is known throughout the world as one of the toughest stretches in these top marathons.
100%.
And another part that was cool to watch was all the athletes competing in wheelchairs.
Right.
And the guy who won it, I forgot his name, but he's legendary. And he won it by several minutes. And he sets world records left and right. So just across the board, these athletes are just phenomenal, just ridiculous athletes. And
I saw a stat the other day that if you run a marathon in your life, you are in the 0.01% of human beings on the planet who will accomplish such a thing.
Wow.
Like that's how rare it is to finish a marathon, to run that 26 plus miles. You are in the elite of the elite of the elite to actually finish it.
Well, good luck running this 21-mile thing, that whatever you're running. How long have you been training to run 21 miles continuously at one time, Rybaltowski?
I'm on month 3, but
good. Yeah, proud of you, man. That's great.
What's your test? What's your test distance?
If I get 4 hours, I'll be.
That's great. I mean, like, but have you run like 20? Like, have you run something to like see what it's going to feel like, and then finally go for the full 21?
Yeah, the most I've run is 17.
Good. Good. Yeah, last 4 will be nothing. You'll be able to fly. Matt, thanks for the time, man. Really appreciate you coming on. We'll do it again soon. All right.
All right. Take the over on my time in a couple of weeks.
Tell them where they can find you. Where your articles and everything are. Tell the people where they can find you, please.
Yeah, thanks. It's on sportshandle.com, and then our sister site, the Action Network, is doing a bang-up job covering this as well. So check it out on both sites.
Good stuff, buddy. Thank you for the time. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
We use his stuff all the time. You wonder how much stuff we get.
He's the best. He's one of the best. I mean, he is such a good writer. One of the most thorough guys I've ever met. Puts out stuff that, like you said, we refer to all the time. Glad he could join us today in between training sessions. 21 miles.
Yeah. Dude. It's incredible. But the human body is amazing. I mean, we can do such incredible things. One of my mom and stepdad's best friends, their oldest daughter, ran the marathon yesterday or Monday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she raised $12,000 for Boston, one of the hospitals in Boston. I think it was Boston Medical Center. She raised $12,000 and she finished it in under 5 hours. And I mean, it's something when you watch it, it's a very unique thing because I don't know if any other part of the country really celebrates runners. New York is maybe a little bit similar, but Boston is a straight up party. Like there's free beer all on the run. Like people shotgun beers, people have food, they have frozen food, they've got bananas, they've got water, Gatorade, like the new thing of the
runners.
Yeah, it's a party. It's a straight up party. Like it is a celebration of the human existence. Wow. And what the human body is capable of doing. And so many people are raising money for charities. And that's why, I mean, talk about the tattoo on my arm. That's why I got the tattoo on my arm, because the people who got blown up by the two assholes who put those bombs at the marathon end, they did it at a time in which it wasn't the elite athletes. They were long gone.
Right.
They put the bombs down when the people who were raising money for charity, who were just trying to finish the Boston Marathon, they're the ones that lost their limbs.
Right.
They're the ones that had the ball bearings ripped through their lower legs and they lost their legs from their knees down. They put a bomb behind a 6-year-old boy who was killed instantly. Like it will always rip me apart mentally and physically, and just to go, I can't believe that people would be that evil to do it when those people who are on the finish line were just there trying to help other people. And their lives were never the same and will never be the same afterwards. So The marathon is something very unique to Boston. It's a very, very big special event, and the weather was gorgeous. It was perfect weather on Monday.
Yeah.
Sox got smoked, but we're gonna beat 6-0.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
was crazy. Kylie was learning about it in school, the Boston Marathon and the bombing and all
The
this other
bombing, yeah.
stuff. So I took her to see the movie, and then we saw the documentary, and we did all this stuff, and she learned so much about it, but it affected her because she was like, she just couldn't figure out the why. And she's become so, like, the conversations that we had, that was the first, like, she was a teenager,
Right.
and she asked so many hard questions, and I didn't have answers. And I was just like, Kai, I don't know why what anybody would think to do this. And
Do you remember the manhunt?
oh, we were glued to the television.
I was on the air.
I know.
I was on the air.
Yeah.
I won an award in New Hampshire. My show was on the air, wire to wire. We stayed on the air. We went on the air. It was called The Home Team with Matt Peralta. We went on the air at 2 o'clock, 2 to 6 we were on, and we stayed on the air until about 11:30 that night during the manhunt. It was unbelievable.
It was incredible.
And the guy who was our midday show host was at the marathon. He had taken the day off to go support his friends who was running it. And he was calling in constantly, giving us updates as to what he was seeing, what was going on, how it was unfolding. And it went all the way. And like, we signed off at 11:30 at night. We couldn't believe it. The next day we came back and they were still looking for the guys.
Right.
They hadn't found the guys yet.
Yeah.
And then they found them in that damn boat.
It was it was hard to go to bed that night. Not
100%.
There was a
I was
resolution.
shook. Oh,
right.
I remember it was one of the first times Twitter broke a news story to me.
Yep.
Because I was on the air and we saw blood in the streets. So I'll never forget the picture. There was blood at the finish line. And I was like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
And it all just sort of took off, and it just completely became just something that I'll never forget. I mean, it's why I got the tattoo of the city of Boston on my arm. This was a local artist who designed that, who was giving that, it was a free, she said, anyone who wants to get this tattoo. I always said that would be the first tattoo that I ever got if I got one. And I got it when I was here. I got it here after I moved here, but it was always something I knew I was going to get for a tattoo. And it always reminds me of that moment and like where I was on the air talking about something that, I was on the air during 9/11. I was on the air during the Boston Marathon bombing. I'll never forget being on the air when these certain things, these life massive events were taking on, but having it happen in Alabama when it was in New York, in Boston, was hard.
Right.
It was even harder when it was literally, an hour from where I was sitting.
Right.
Like, that was even harder because I knew people who were there. I knew people who got hurt. I knew people who were running.
Right.
I had friends of mine who were at the finish line. It was like the cell phone towers were all gone. Everybody was trying to figure out, all the calls were overloaded, and then it didn't end. It kept going for days until they finally caught the two dudes, or the one.
And watching it on TV from out here,
Whew.
and seeing like these tanks and all these things driving around, just the streets,
For two
everybody
guys.
stay in.
Because we didn't know, right? I mean, when it was happening, we didn't know how
Nobody
many
knew.
people were involved, right? Because at
Nobody knew.
9/11, like, we thought it was, okay, how many planes? It was one plane, then two planes, then three planes, then four planes. It was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was the same thing at the marathon bombing. There were 3 bombs, and we thought, okay, what's next? Everybody was holding their breath for like, what would be the next thing? They thought there were going to be booby traps and car bombs and all these different things going on. The whole city thought it was under attack.
Right.
I mean, that's how Boston reacted. Those tanks you mentioned, they rolled out everything. They thought the city was under attack, even though it was only 2 brothers who had done it. So that was horrible. So whenever I see smiling faces and I see happiness at the Boston Marathon in the finish line, I'll never forget a week afterwards going down to the Boston Marathon, going to the finish line and seeing the overwhelming number of stuffed animals and pictures and flowers and all the cards and everyone that had come down there. There was this big cornered off police taped area. And on the outside, it was just completely overrun with all of these gifts and people's well wishes and posters from children. And it was so heartbreaking to see. I still have the pictures today of it, going like, wow. Like it was the outpouring of emotion from New England was like, that was our thing. Like the marathon is our thing. and you attacked that thing.
Yeah.
You really evil. Someone said in the chat, evil doesn't really describe what that act was. Sick.
Oh yeah, no. Guys, if you enjoyed that interview, just if you can take a minute and go on Twitter and just shout out Rybaltowski and tell him thank you for joining the show. Because he wrote that article, and a lot of times a lot of these writers just write it, and he took a little bit of time out of his day to come join us. We
appreciate that. He's still writing about it now. He's still working on stories. The story
changed. Like the initial story was, he
bet. Now he bet on NBA.
He didn't bet NBA, and now he was involved. And the 3 bets he made on the Raptors all lost. By the way, he bet on them to lose, and they won. Apparently,
and they're all parlays. It was all parlays he had bet. So didn't know. It didn't say which leg lost. Just said the bet lost. So the other legs could have lost. He could have been on. He could have been right with the Raptors and wrong on somebody else. But it was a parlay bet that he had made between $10,000 and like $22,000, which is an interesting swing in terms of unit size. 10 to 22,000, a little bit of a difference. So, okay, back to the NBA.
Yep,
on the court. Warriors lost badly to the Kings last night. Klay Thompson goes 0 for 10. He's a free agent. Is that it for the Splash Brothers? That's the last time Klay wears a Warrior uniform?
Bad loss, man. That was a bad loss. Is it the end? Very well could be. Right?
Charles Barkley was ruthless last night. He was just like, basketball's not meant for old people.
Wow. You said that out loud?
Basketball's not meant for old people, and basically calling Klay Thompson old, saying that's it. It's over. I mean, they got worked. They got worked last night. That wasn't even close.
It was never close.
That was one of those like ships passing moments where like the Kings are on the rise and the Warriors are on the downslide, and like you got to break it up. Like you got to make that hard decision that like, okay, Klay, you're not coming back. We're going to build around Steph. We're going to try to find Steph 1 or 2 more championship caliber runs if we can, because right now that team is not good. I would trade Draymond. I would not bring back Klay. I would try to rework it all. And Steve Kerr is going to go coach Team USA now in the Olympics.
And recruit?
Maybe. I mean, I guess potentially try to get guys to come play with Steph, but how happy is he going to be? He's going to have the ultimate all-star team to go coach versus the crap he had to work with this year, which was not good. They had no bench. They had no help. They had no defense. They've missed on draft picks. They've missed on trades. Like, that's it.
So I'm more concerned with Sacramento.
Concerned in what way?
No, can they win another game?
Oh, we'll see. I mean, they got to win. They got to beat a Zion-less New Orleans team, because Zion, that game was tight with 3 minutes to go, and Zion hurts his hamstring. And from that moment on, it was Laker game. That was it. I was on the Lakers, so I was happy, but my gosh, he scored a 40 burger last night. He had 40 and he got hurt.
What's the line for, let me see.
For New Orleans, it's got to be, Kings have got to be favored.
On the road?
Without Zion?
-1. Yeah.
Without Zion, yeah.
-1.5 in some places.
Yeah.
Huh.
Kings got to be favored.
214.5. My God, the totals are going to get so low, P-Roll. Man, oh man, oh man.
We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, is it that easy where you just go Sacramento, just win the game? -1.5?
If Zion's not there and Anthony and Ingram does what he did last night, which was nothing, they're out. They're gone. Kings will win the game. They need Ingram, and they need, in some way, a miracle moment come back, because that hamstring, I'm sure, tightened up brutally for Zion. He scored 40. He looks so good. Nope. Couldn't finish the game. But yes, I would lean Kings to win the game and Kings to be the 8th seed to play the OKC Thunder in the first round.
Who gives the Thunder a better series, Sacramento or New Orleans?
Sacramento, because Zion's hurt.
Hurt like he's going to miss multiple games.
It's a hamstring with a basketball. I mean, hamstrings for basketball players are brutal. Like, it's the worst thing.
Yeah.
You have no clue. It's not like you can take a series off. It's all you're doing is running. It's not like it's a wrist injury where you can kind of baby it. It's a leg injury. Like, for basketball players.
Give the boys and the girls something to vote on here. Give them a poll. Who wins Friday? Kings or Pels? Coach JY always used to come on the Sports Grid and go, "Fly, Pelican, fly, fly." Yeah.
Goodbye.
Shout out to Coach, by the way, if you
Pelicans,
guys follow him on Twitter.
on the way down. See you later.
His mom passed away this week.
Yeah, it sucks.
Give him a quick,
tip of the cap.
condolences.
We're thinking about you, bud. That stinks.
Coach for sure.
That sucks. One more, and then we'll get to the games tonight. Capitals win. They're in.
Did you see how they won, by the way?
No, I just saw 2-1 final.
So it's 1-1.
Yep.
The Red Wings are playing at the same time.
Correct.
The Red Wings, they're playing the Canadians.
Uh-huh.
They tie at 4-4. Unbeknownst to anyone on the Philadelphia bench, Philadelphia needs 2 points in regulation. So in a tie game, they pull the goalie. Okay. So again, it can be explained based on the points and the numbers in this. They pulled the goalie to get 2 regulation points and prevent Washington from getting 1 point for advancing it to overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Come down, get a shot. It kicks out of the zone. Empty netter. Oshie. Washington wins 2-1. It doesn't matter that Detroit pulls another amazing comeback, wins the game in a shootout, and then who gets caught in a crossfire? The Pittsburgh Penguins eliminated today. Doesn't matter.
Everybody got eliminated.
Done.
Everybody. Capitals are in.
Capitals
are in. So we don't know the West bracket, okay? We don't know what it, because we got a bunch of games to play out today and tomorrow. So the West bracket is not anywhere near set, but we do have, these are the playoff series we have at the moment.
Uh-huh.
Boston and Toronto, Dave. We get Boston and Toronto.
Yep. Thanks for coming. Nice
Minus 120, the Bruins are favored. Florida against...
That's great. Wow.
That's it. Florida against Tampa is unbelievable. Florida is a minus 176 favorite.
Absolute war.
Avalanche, Jets. Islanders, Hurricanes.
Yeah, that was the series last year in the first round. I think the Islanders won a game.
Minus 350 for the Hurricanes on that.
Yep.
Avalanche, minus 138. Jets are 100% live.
Yes.
Rangers, Capitals, minus 375. Rangers,
yeah, the Caps will make that
interesting.
The Caps will make that. Yeah, they'll win a game or two. You know, that's not a sweep. That's a 6 game, probably.
So bet the over 5.5. Minus 134 for Rangers, Caps.
That's it?
Uh-huh. They're all 5.5. Just different juice.
What's the biggest juice?
88 for Avalanche. Minus 188 for Avalanche Jets.
I'd be very surprised. I was going to say that has to be the one. That's got to go 6 or 7 games. The Avalanche, that's not a good matchup for them.
No, and they're not playing well.
They have to be like, what?
Yeah, right. We got to play them. We got to play this goaltender. Are you serious? Great. Now we got to go into a team that can play, grind it out 2-1, 3-2 hockey games.
Yeah, this is, I mean, Dallas could get the Knights. It's a gauntlet. It starts this weekend, right? First games this weekend for an NHL.
Vinny, I'm going to try to bet it live. So I have under 96.5 points for the Lightning.
Okay.
The Lightning are playing tonight in a game. It doesn't matter.
And they have 96 points.
They have 96 points. They're favored tonight. So I want to try to get even money, or I want to try to get plus money in some form or fashion. Because if they lose the game, my bet catches. So I don't want to totally bet it pre. Because I think it's a mistake. Because I want something for my time. We went a whole season with this bet being live.
Right.
So I'd rather just, a part of me just says, let it ride. If I lose, I lose. But they're minus 146 favorites tonight against the Maple Leafs. I want Toronto to score first. If Toronto scores first, then I get potentially plus money or even money, and I can bet a half a unit, and it's just half a unit either way.
I don't know. I mean, you have to bet Tampa to win.
But then I'm laying, and then if Toronto wins, I lose money on the whole thing. I can't lay minus 146. It's only a unit play. It's not like it's a big money bet. It's just, I win, I lose, I lose.
What's Toronto or Tampa in regulation?
Tampa in regulation tonight is even money.
There you go.
But then I don't make money. Then it's flat.
Well, I mean, you could bet it for half a unit and take away the risk. They're probably going to win. No?
I agree. I think they are going to win.
That's what I mean.
They're at home. They're at home. Yes.
Like it's just Toronto's.
Vic says let it ride. Vic says just let it ride. This is the gambler.
Yeah, you can.
This is the gambler's portion where I'm not really a gambler, but the gambler is saying you got to let it ride. Yeah, the whole season. Just go in there and cheer. I'd rather see if I can get plus money.
Well, no,
if Tampa ain't winning money. JPC the fourth. Let it ride.
Let it ride.
So I don't know. I don't know. I did not. I was sitting there before I taped the juice last night, and I was like, "What the hell am I gonna do with this?" I was like, "Just gonna leave it alone. See if I can bet it live, and just see what happens." Because there's not really a.
If Tampa scores first,
yeah, and then if they win it over 10, I lose both. That's very true. Yes, I can lose both. That's very, very true. So
you could.
And Cooper might dress them in. That is true. Cooper might punt the game, but Toronto might too. It means nothing for both of them. Everyone's saying that Austin Matthews, I guess, has a scoring.
Yeah, he can get 70 goals with his next goal. His 69 goals.
Yeah,
he'd be the 9th guy in the history of the NHL to get it.
So they're saying he's going to get a goal and then go off. Like he'll score and then they'll go do everything to get him a goal tonight, and then he'll be gone. And all Tampa Bay is Kucherov's going for 100 assists. Holy crap, 100 assists! Wow, what a good number by the books, though.
Right,
96.5 points. What a good number.
Comes right down to the end.
To one game. It's great. The Bruins one was way too short, but this one was right on the nose. It was perfect. Right. So
yeah, that's good.
Got the Bruin one cashed. It was, I mean, if the book set under, if the Bruins are under 100 points again next year, just automatically bet it. Like Bruins are been over 100 points now for 8 straight seasons, I believe.
Wow.
Like to set it at 98.5 is like insulting. Like the Bruins are going to have 100 points. Just what they do.
Caitlin Clark was on Pat today.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my.
She came. Great. I mean, she got drafted last. She drafted by the Indiana Fever, so it's perfect. She's playing in Indianapolis. So she was doing a home tour.
Gee, she's going to be on every week.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah. Why not? I would put her on every week. She's comfortable too. She's good.
Yeah.
Ribbed with them, talking with them. It was cool. The Colts sent a jersey for Pat to give her.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It was really cool. And then Belichick was on Pat today.
That is going to blow up.
What, Caitlin Clark or Belichick? He's on. Pat's doing Belichick on draft night. Thursday.
Oh.
McAfee and Belichick on ESPN doing draft coverage.
Oh, geez.
You don't think I'm watching that? Screw the other guys. I'm watching that. I want to hear
right
what Belichick has to say.
I think that's only going to be available on YouTube or ESPN Plus.
That's okay.
That's not.
Why would you bury?
Coverage. Yeah.
Why would you bury Bill on ESPN Plus? That seems like a mistake. It's Belichick. I don't know about that. Yikes. Okay, tonight 5.5. Philadelphia total is 208. Both games went under last night. 208. Both dogs win last night. Both games go under. What happens tonight? Is Embiid healthy?
I don't know.
He didn't play in 3 of the games in which the Heat played Philly. He was out. And now he's got the knee injury that he suffered in the last game.
Game probably goes under.
Heat outright.
Really?
Outright.
See, I think Sixers win.
plus 170 outright.
I think Sixers win. I'm not sure they cover though.
I don't know if Embiid's health. I'm not betting on
all right.
Sixers without knowing Embiid.
Give
No
the kids something to vote for here.
Okay.
Who wins this game?
85% like the Kings.
85% like the Kings. The game's 1.5, boys. Be careful. 85% of you. Use 5 as the spread.
Ooh, okay.
Sixers -5.
So who covers, not who wins?
Well, I think we'll get overwhelming favorite if we use the point. If we don't use the point spread, I think we'll get it the same. I don't want another 85-15.
Fair.
So I will
Heat.
Right
Jimmy
there.
Buckets.
All
Miami.
Right, so you're
Spoelstra.
taking +5.
I'm taking +5, but I'm money lining it.
Let me click refresh.
I'm not playing
Well,
around.
it's 5.5 pretty
I'm
much.
not playing with.
now.
I'm not going with the spread. Give me money line.
See, if we were sitting in the book right now, let's go to 5. See if anybody will play it. Because I'm looking right now and
To take
circus.
you mean 6?
Circus.
We go 6.
We're not going to 6. We're going to 5. We're going to see if they lay it.
You're going down.
Yeah.
Ooh, so you like the Heat plus the points tonight?
No. I want to see if anybody likes the Sixers minus the points. So I need to. We're sitting in the book. We're moving it down.
Okay.
We get one of these guys that want to run books like Rufus come in.
Atlanta, Chicago tonight.
I have no idea.
Dog
I have
outright.
no interest in this game.
Falcons. Sorry. Hawks outright.
Seriously?
Yep. Outright.
Trash.
Outright. Atlanta. Both dogs, just like last night. All 4 games. All 4 dogs. All win.
Yeah, but they were home teams. Or no, yesterday Lakers were on the road.
Yeah. That's not true.
Sacramento was at home.
Mm-hmm. Road favorite.
So the road team wins tonight. It's Atlanta.
Road team Atlanta wins outright. Yep. And
I think it's more likely that Atlanta wins than Miami wins.
Playoff caliber. Playoff Jimmy.
Oh.
Heat.
I have no idea who's going to win this game. I have no interest in this game. I got to talk about this game on Sports Grid tonight.
It's going to be so fun. That's good. I love
this game is fun.
This game's fun. Both games are fun. Yes, the playing tournaments are awesome. I love
Zero fun, sir.
Playoff tournament. The play-in tournament is tremendous. One of the best things the NBA has ever done.
It's actually a good idea.
It's tremendous. It's absolutely tremendous. I loved it last year. I love it this year. Like both games last night it was electric watching both those games last night. That was fun.
I don't know if electric.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? When Zion scored his 40th point and he got hurt in that moment with 3 minutes to go, that building was jumping in New Orleans.
Yeah, that was.
The Kings and the Warriors game was great.
Tickets for $12 a piece for that game, by the way.
Well, that's the market. That's not an indicator of the TV audience. That's the market. There are millions on TV who are watching. They were glued to it. Just unfortunately, what that market is like. It's just not a huge basketball diehard market. Pelicans have struggled there. But your Penguins are favored on the road against the Islanders tonight.
I'm done.
What is this? Why?
I'm done with hockey season right now.
You're done with the whole hockey season?
No, I'm just done today.
Okay.
I've had to, it's an old expression. I ripped the cloth of it. I'm done. That's it. I'm in mourning today. It's over. I'm working on playoff numbers.
Okay.
I don't want to look at the board today. I don't want to talk about it today. I don't want to. I have no. I looked at it last night and I was like, "Damn, this would be really fun if the Pittsburgh game meant something at the Islanders. How the hell were they favored?" And I still don't understand how they're favored. I don't. I have no idea. St. Louis is playing Dallas. I was going to shoot down Arizona, go to the last game ever in Arizona.
So let's talk about that. Coyotes are plus 146 tonight.
Yeah.
I almost bet puck line Oilers, but I went, they play tomorrow too. They're in a whiteout. Oilers do, yes. They have 2 games left.
What, they're doing a whiteout in Arizona on the way out?
Yep.
Really? Nice of them.
Whiteout t-shirt.
Idiots. Should have done that every game. They would have stayed.
Maybe.
Now you're going to whiteout.
Yep. So they went ahead and did that. So it's a commemorative t-shirt on the way out to say you were at the last game. Tickets are like 4 figures for this game tonight.
That's a joke.
To go watch the final game At least in the last 5 years. Maybe more than that. Maybe ever.
The guy never got back to me. Like, if you're going to offer something, or if I reach out or P-Rolt reaches out or we reach out together as a show, just do me a favor and reply. You can tell me, sorry, Will, you can tell me fuck off. That's fine.
Right.
Just reply. Like the leaving a text like hanging.
Oh, left you on red. Uh-oh.
Like, did you even open it up? I don't know. But, you know, I was going to do the show. If you couldn't go, I was going to go. If you could go, we were both going to go. Ooh. We could do the show live from the pregame skate. That's what I was told. I said, oh, we'll do it. And then we'll stay and we'll go to the game.
Yeah, somebody told him no. He asked and someone said no.
You think so?
Yeah, that's what happened. He's embarrassed to tell you that he got told no.
He's embarrassed to tell me. I don't care. Just
somebody, yeah, but he offered it to you without getting clearance, and then he has to walk it back.
He didn't think I would have said yes.
Maybe
he must have offered it and said, well, I was like, yeah, P-Roll will drive. We got a fast car this week. We'll get down there quick. It'll be no problem.
Very true.
We packed the producer in the thing. He's available. Boom, let's go.
Hold on to your ears.
We're back.
Time for the Brigade Proxy Service, NFL story of the day. The Brigade Proxy Service, the official proxy service of the Bostonian versus the Book. As you guys are planning your trips to Las Vegas to sign up for the said football conferences, you guys can go to thebvbshow.com, drop us a note, tell us you're coming in, schedule your appointment for Dave or I or both of us to meet you at one of the many locations around the city of Las Vegas to sign up for said football contest. Yes, I know it's April. The football contests signups begin in about a month plus or so. Put it in your brain, start planning out your trip, and book your proxy service with us with the Brigade Proxy Service. Is Robert Kraft really going to do this? Is he going to become the new Jerry Jones? Because he's on his way.
We're playing that stinger every day.
Yes. Our NFL story of the day, of course.
That is perfect.
Our NFL story of the day.
I thought my favorite thing about today, which is coming up in a little bit, was going to be the smooth entry. But that now might be my favorite thing about today. No, the smooth entry still is always going to win. It's still
pretty good, yeah. It's always
is better. Robert Kraft going to look like Jerry Jones soon? Is this a serious question?
100%. Did you see the story that came out today?
You're such a... No, I didn't.
Okay. Robert Kraft.
It's on you for the draft bullshit.
This is not draft. This has nothing to do with the draft. It's got nothing to do with the draft.
What's he look like?
Robert Kraft, reportedly, during the year, called Arthur Blank to badmouth Bill Belichick. Consistently called him to badmouth Bill Belichick, calling him untrustworthy, calling him somebody that should not be trusted with a roster.
Are you reading this or are you making this up?
I am 100% telling you what this report is on ESPN.com. This is not fake. This is 100% real.
He said what about Bill?
Robert Kraft called the job that was going to be offered to Bill Belichick and torpedoed it. Robert Kraft made it so Arthur Blank, according to this report, was no longer interested in hiring Bill Belichick. Robert Kraft has vehemently denied this through his spokespeople that this is not true. He never did this. He did admit to talking to Arthur Blank during the year, though. He's just saying he never said anything bad about Bill. But the report is that Belichick was badmouthed during the season by Robert Kraft, saying some very negative things about him, and he should not be trusted with an NFL franchise.
Wow.
This is really bad.
What happened there between those two?
One guy has a massive ego, and he's trying to rewrite history as to what happened with the Patriots. That's what this is. This is a guy at the end of his life who is trying to claim credit because Belichick ran Tom Brady out of New England. I don't believe Robert Kraft will ever forget or ever forgive Bill Belichick for making it so impossible for Brady to stick around. That's what this is. Wow. Because Kraft has to answer to everyone saying, you let the greatest quarterback of all time walk. What the hell did you do that for? And he has to badmouth Belichick. It's what happened. It's what Boston does. Terry Francona broke the curse. And on the way out of town, they leaked all sorts of nasty crap about him and his sex life and who he was and being a pill-popping drug addict.
They did?
Oh, yeah.
I never knew about that.
Yeah, he had a young girlfriend, was disinterested, was always with her, accused him of having an addiction to opioids and pain pills.
What?
Yeah. They dragged Francona through the mud on the way out when he left. And it's a very similar thing. I mean, the owners in Boston right now, Robert Kraft, Jeremy Jacobs with the Bruins, John Henry with the Red Sox, across the board, they're just hated, like absolutely hated right now. All the owners in Boston, it's bad. Like they do not like any of them. Wick Grossbeck and the Celtics are like literally hiding in a corner. Like, just leave us alone. Like, don't talk about us because everybody else sucks. Just don't talk about us. It's really, really bad right now because more and more players, and a lot of them are doing it on Edelman's podcast. They're going on there and they're essentially like torpedoing and destroying the documentary, which Robert Kraft funded and produced. So like he was heavily involved in this. And they're like, yeah, Robert, don't know what that was, but that was pretty shitty. Everything you did made like a bunch of guys have gone on the Edelman podcast and been like, I said like 2 hours worth of positive things. And they took a 5-second clip of me talking negatively about Bill. And that's what they used.
People ask how we do this every day, our show.
Yeah.
I legitimately think about every sentence that comes out of my mouth every day because of that reason right there. Every day. You do as well. I think about that tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
Every day. You literally look down.
Oh, yeah.
Like, but me and you are doing this show.
Right.
And we can cut the clips and we can, but that is a really weird thing to have everybody saying the same thing. They're only saying it to somebody that they trust, though, right? Like Edelman.
Right. Because he knows. He agrees. Edelman agrees that, like, all the former players are like, you dragged our coach. Like, yeah, it's like that thing of like one of your friends is a complete a-hole and he is, but he's your friend. So like we get to say negative stuff, but you don't get to say negative stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if you're in the circle, you can talk about it. But if you're outside the circle, you don't get to say stuff about our guy. Like, that's still our guy.
Oh.
And the players are like, we still won championships with Bill. Like, we still went to war and bled with him. And we were there when times were really tough. He was with us. We were at practice. Like, we went to war for him, not for Robert Kraft.
Right.
And so when you tarnish him and you belittle him and you bring up historical things that like make him look like a jerk without talking about maybe the full conversation piece as to why he did that.
Right. It's
a one-sided look at the greatest dynasty in the history of the NFL. And it makes Robert Kraft looks like a guy that he was, that Bill Belichick was the ultimate jerk. And Robert Kraft it wasn't his fault that Tom left. It was Robert. It was all Bill.
It's really interesting. And you guys can relate to it, boys and girls, whoever's watching the show. If your brother's a jagoff, you can call him a jagoff.
Fair.
If the guy over across the street calls your brother a jagoff, it's fighting words. Right?
Agreed.
He's the best coach
of all time.
I don't know what the debate is like. Why? How bad could it really the stuff been going on where you go, I'm going to bury this guy. I'm going to do
because
this
Kraft, you think about it. Robert Kraft runs Gillette. He runs $1 billion company.
It ain't enough.
He took the Patriots and he stopped them from leaving. He was a season ticket holder. He was a Patriot fan before Bill Belichick ever showed up.
Yeah.
Die-hard Patriot fan. Was always dreaming about owning the team. He gets the team. He hires Pete Carroll. He falls over himself. He fortunately falls into Belichick. He gets him there. Belichick comes in and basically grabs him by the throat, puts him up against the wall and says, stay the fuck out of my way. I'm going to do what I want. And he did.
That actually happened?
No, but I mean, but that's basically like.
I was like, wait a second.
No.
Hold on here.
It's basically what he did. This is my team. I'm coming here. I want full power. And Kraft's like, okay, you can have full power. Gave him full power. Well, it turns into this thing where no one saw the success coming. No one saw this dynasty coming. No one saw Brady coming. All that stuff happened. It was in the documentary. It's long talked about. He thought, even though he calls Brady his son, that it was Drew Bledsoe. That was the face of the franchise. That was the guy he had cozied up to. And Bill said, sit down. I'm playing Brady. In hindsight, it was the brilliant move. But in real time, if you go back and look at the documentary and remember it, it was ripped from coast to coast. What are you doing? He's a $100 million quarterback. This is a 6th-round pick. You see his picture of the combine? He's a tub of goo. This is your quarterback in the Super Bowl? What are you doing? It worked. And it worked again. And it worked again. And it worked again. And Belichick got more and more power. And Kraft had to sit in the back seat. He didn't want to do that because Bill was constantly belittling him. And then in meetings, that's why Kraft had to go and tell people, I'm the man in charge. This is my team. All this is rewriting history for Robert Kraft at the end of his life. It's so transparent and pathetic to watch it because the guy who won, nothing negative should be said about Belichick. I don't care what happened. It's all over. It's all done. Move forward. Thank the guy for 6 rings.
At this point, if there was negative and you are jealous, because it's just jealousy.
Yep.
There's Rybaltowski said greed was the problem with the other thing. You know, it's a bad trait. Greed is a terrible trait. And it's prevailing in regular life every day. Jealousy is the root of a lot of bad things. And what in the hell? You do have all of this. You own the team. Celebrate the guy that made you this on the way out.
And
but
that's why I'd say this, because that's what Jerry Jones tried to do for years after the 3 championships. Jerry Jones tried to claim credit like crazy for Barry Switzer and tried crazy for Jimmy Johnson. Tried to it's all, I did this. I built that team. This is me. That's what Robert Kraft is doing. It's old guys who are trying to say they could do it again. It'll happen again. How many rings do the Cowboys have since all that went down? That would be 0. I'm not kidding you. When I tell you the Patriots are going to turn into the Cowboys, it's not a crazy comment. It's on the track for the Patriots to be the new Dallas Cowboys, which sucks. It's a Patriot fan. It sucks. All right, real quick, kicker story before we go on the way out. Yep. OJ dies, and they're remaking The Naked Gun. Are you in? Will you watch the new Naked Gun with Pam Anderson starring opposite Liam Neeson?
What year is this? What year is this?
It's coming out next year. They're redoing the Naked Gun. Naked Gun reboot. We in or we out?
I mean, I really enjoyed the Naked Gun. I don't know if I want to see the reboot.
I'm so out. Don't. It's going to be dumb. There's no way it's going to be good.
No way.
OJ dies and they come out with it. Like if they had done it and did like an homage to OJ, it could have been kind of funny. Never would have done it, but it would have been super controversial. But it could have been kind of funny if they did like an OJ scene.
Oh God. I think that's got to go away. Like just all go away. Cause like there's going to be truth now coming out, right? Like when I heard one of the many things that I heard in that hospital while I was sitting there waiting for my wife to come out of surgery while people were in the waiting room.
Right.
They started the OJ debate again.
Oh my.
Whether he did it or not. These 2 old people behind us.
Oh no.
And then somebody heard them talking about it. And I was just like, are we really talking about this right now?
Here we go.
I had to get up and go for a walk because I was like, I can't. And then I swear, if grandma would have got involved, I would have left. I'd have been like, look, I'm
Goodbye.
Texting the nurse in the back. I had to go for a complete ride. Like I had to get away from this. I don't want to see that. You know, like at OJC, it would be fun. I think OJ, the whole thing needs to kind of like chill, go away.
Did you hear he had his kids? Anybody who went to his deathbed had to sign an NDA?
That was what sparked the whole discussion.
Okay.
well, why would they sign an NDA if he didn't do it? They had to do it.
It's kind of messed up, though, right? Even in death, you go ahead and make people sign an NDA.
That's what the whole conversation was about. I literally went, blah, 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 blah,
Fair.
I was like, how's Jess? I was like, I had to go for a walk. I went down and saw the lady at the gift shop.
That's unbelievable.
I was like, yeah, I got to go for a walk. All right.
For you guys who are with us watching on Sports Grid, listening on Sirius XM, thank you so much. We appreciate you guys being here. If you are with us on YouTube and on Twitter, you guys are not moving. You guys get what we call bonus time.
Wednesday bonus time.
Cancer denies killing OJ. That's great. Yeah, bonus time right into better to. You don't like either one of my plays. Atlanta money line plus 125.
This one got a shot. I think this one can win.
All I need is one. Bet them both. Plus money, plus money. Go 1-1.
Sixers are winning.
Go 1-1, and I win money.
Yeah. Sixers are winning.
Go 2-0, and I'm feeling wonderful.
Here we go. 2-0, and you get to dance into the NBA playoffs with the Celtics BS nonsense bull caca. If the Heat win, you see them. No, if the Heat win, they play the Knicks.
Right.
They're the 7 seed. They play the 2.
Yes, right.
Yeah, so you want the Heat to win, and the Sixers lose. Then the Sixers beat the Hawks, and then you get. I got to listen to this bullshit for Sixers and Celtics. I don't want to see you in the first round. I don't.
I would agree.
I don't.
It's currently 3-2. I'm on the run line for the Royals. It's 3-2 in the 8th.
3-2 run line Royals.
2 outs in the 8th, though. I'm in trouble. It's most likely going to be an L.
Oh,
for today.
In game. You're on the road.
Right.
So that's good.
Got the top of the 9th at least.
Yeah.
The potential to get an insurance run out of
that insurance run.
Right. Sonic, no question. Just want to say thank you. You didn't want me to say no super chats today.
Thank you. You
wanted to have some super chat. Thank you. Yes. Very nice of you. Kind of you to do that. Favorite thing about today is what?
2 things quickly. One serious. Saw a tweet yesterday that I sent to you and I sent to my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Where this guy, David Perel, said, recently heard somebody say, find your people and do life with them. And I can't stop thinking about this. The flip side of being discerning about who you let into your inner circle is to give your all to the ones you let in.
A fucking
man. Ask me why we do the show.
A fucking men.
Like, this is why we do the show. This is why, we're doing what we're doing every single day. I thought, constantly looking and trying to learn about different things and having meetings with people about different things. And some people just don't want to be a part of your life. Quit fucking trying.
Amen to that.
It's a futile effort. And I'm getting older. I'm hearkening back and I'm looking back at things with this lens that's clear as day. Like, you tried so hard to get this job. You tried so hard to make this deal. You tried so hard to make this work, this relationship, this. You can only try. That's number one. Number 2, I can't tell you how good it felt today to get that blood drawn. It was smooth as could be. I'm telling you.
We're back on this again.
We started the show this way. We're going to end the show this way.
Did you lube up the needle?
No lube. Right in. Smooth. I was like, what arm do you want? If you got to pick an arm to get your blood drawn, are you a right or a left?
I'm a left all time. Always.
Every time left.
Every time. You stay away from my right. I have no tattoos on my right arm. I want blood being drawn on my left arm. Stay away from my right arm.
Yeah, I'm a righty.
Yep. So, stay away from my right.
Right with my right. I eat with my. So when I get the blood drawn, it's always the left, and I know the vein is good. So I sit down. She goes.
They always say I have good veins. Doctors always, the nurses always say that they like my veins.
Listen. They like my veins too. That's what she said. She said, "You got good veins." I said, "Thank you very much." And boom, put the left arm out, boom, right in.
Ooh.
I was like, oh, that was great. I told you guys at the beginning of the show, if you missed it, go back and watch it later. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. But I told this woman, I couldn't even make her blush. I said, you put that in very nice.
Oh, nurses have seen and done everything. They
don't care about nothing.
No, they've seen it all. Yeah. I mean, they've seen it all. There's nothing they haven't seen.
They have such a good, zing, zing. Like,
oh, yeah.
You could give it to them and they zing it back. My grandmother, God rest her soul, my Nonnie Deannie, the story she told us when we were kids about being a nurse, and she made it seem like it was just another day.
Right.
And I learned so much from her. I literally thought of her today when I was driving home. So that was my favorite thing about today. Like, this woman made me feel good, got the blood drawn. My appointment's next week. The guy said, get your blood drawn 7 days before your appointment. I follow instructions. And I told this woman today, I'm going to talk about you on my TV show, and my radio show. You can watch it on the replay tonight at 10 o'clock on Sports Grid. If you have it, they could write the dirtiest jokes in the world, Akbar. You're damn right. They got it all. But hopefully she's going to watch. If not, I'm going to call her out next week when I see her.
Oh, there you go. My mom, I remember when I was growing up in the middle of the AIDS epidemic, my mom she did her rotation. You have to do ER work. So she was doing 4 years of doing ER work. And I remember when a guy came in and the nurses were going through his clothes, and my mom reached into his pocket and pricked a needle right in. And it was like a really tense 2 months, because that's how long it took at the time to get the positive results back, whether you're not you're HIV positive. And she, like, I vividly remember, like, we would ask my mom every couple of weeks, did you get tested? Yeah. You negative? Yeah. You negative? Yeah. You negative? Yeah. Because she reached. So now the gloves that they've got are harder, or more difficult to puncture. But this was back in like what was it? It was probably late 80s, early 90s. So I remember like that was like a huge, I like a huge new respect. I remember talking about, like, you like go into people's pockets. She's like, yeah, some guy comes in a car wreck. He's all messed up. Like, he's we're going to go through his stuff, find out who they are, and find out, what's going on. So it was a prick, and, it was a big, big deal. I remember it was a psycho scary time in my house, because they didn't know my mom had contracted anything through the needle prick. Oh, scary shit. So, yeah, I mean, anyone who works in healthcare, anyone in any capacity, anyone does anything in admin, anyone that does anything around healthcare, you guys are all saints, all of you. Like, you're absolute saints. No. What you do for the rest of us, it cannot be underestimated. It cannot be underdelivered. I don't care what role you have. I don't care if you're a front office person at a hospital. It doesn't matter what you do. You are the cog that keeps everything going. Because when you get sick, nothing matters.
So true.
Nothing matters.
So true. And like, these people deal with a lot of sick people, a lot of bad temperament people. They're not in a good state of mind. They're angry to begin with. Like, I can't thank them enough. Like, every time I go for anything, whether I'm with my wife, my mother-in-law, father-in-law, I used to go with my dad to every appointment, every single one. Thank these people for taking care of my dad. Thank them for because nobody does. We take them for granted.
100%.
Like, it's hard work, man. We get to come on here and talk about, sports and all this other stuff. I'm amazed by it every day. I just wanted to make sure that smooth entry was recognized today. Smooth.
It's very cool, Addison. I didn't know that you worked in any form or fashion. Anyone who works in anything to do with pain management or rehab, personal
pain management, nurse Vic. Oh,
that button gets pushed all the time. Button, call button.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Really, really hard. It's really so. I mean, my mom has been a nurse since I don't know my mom being anything else but a nurse, but just the stories that she told, the things that she saw, and the things that she went through, and what we saw as kids, and it's unbelievable what you guys do, go through, put yourselves in the line. And look, I'm not. Dave Daily Pick's talking about cops. Yeah, I'm not trying to diminish anyone else in first responders or anyone in the police or fire or any other public selfless act that you guys do as a job. Dave just brought up nurses, so that's nurses are in my family, my mom. So I have a very large part of my heart that I'm very much looking at every day in terms of healthcare and making sure we're all okay. And then when your kid gets sick or I get sick or, Dave got sick, like on this show, we've had some pretty bad scares and run-ins, we have tested the health system Dave and I have over the last couple of years.
That's for sure.
To make sure that we're all, okay and here and doing the show.
I was telling the kids how you were in the hospital because we were at the same hospital with Jess.
Right. Oh.
And I said, this is where Pete Rolt went to the hospital. And they're like, what happened? And I tried to tell the girls the story. And Kelsey was like, what? When was that? I'm like, it wasn't that long ago. I said, me and Mama came and hang out
3 years ago.
Afternoon, watching basketball.
God, if you had told me in that moment I would be sitting here today as happy as I am today, I wouldn't. There's absolutely no way with how unhappy I was in that moment, in that room, with how fucked up my life was 3 years ago, in that moment with you and Jess and me and you betting on college basketball that March 3 years ago, for me to sit here today, 3 years later, I'm a different person. Like I'm a different, even the ex-wife said that to me 2 days ago. She goes, you're a different person right now. She's like, I don't really recognize you right now. I was like, life's good. Life's good. And I'm not gonna, take it for granted because it was really fucking bad 3 years ago. It was really, really bad.
I mean, I think I might have been one of the only people on planet Earth that even had a hint at how bad it was. And I didn't even
You
know
were the only
whole
one.
story.
No, you were the only one. Because even my family at home had no idea.
Right.
My family at home, I mean, they knew, but they didn't know.
Right.
Like they heard the words.
Right.
They didn't see it. Like they didn't see what was going on. You saw when my ex-wife walked in that into that hospital room, you saw how the dark cloud came and everything changed and the world became an absolute disaster in that moment.
I will never forget walking her out to her car. When we write the book, I'm going to tell that story. I'm not going to tell that on the air, but I almost came in and
Dave knew in that moment. Dave knew.
Myself, and we were leaving town. I wasn't going to let you go back home.
Yeah, he was like,
I came in. I said,
problem.
Yes. Wait, let this happen. There's no way. No way. We're genuinely slow. He was concerned for your life.
That's not even a joke. That's
I'm not joking.
He's being serious. There was absolutely a concern on that. So, guys, thanks for being here. Really appreciate you guys. We will be back tomorrow. Same place, same time. We're rolling tomorrow. Juice Reel Thursday. Our boy Ricky Gold's back with us coming up tomorrow on a Thursday, a Juice Reel Thursday, as we're calling it. Yes. Tomorrow, BVB, Matt and Dave. Talk to you then.
Go Sixers.